Hello, I'm Ed Freeman. I've been doing data science since the mid 90s. Well, that's a decade before the term got coined, and that's actually the point of this channel. Our field has seen a lot of changes and a lot of name changes over the years, but the principles for how to do good data science, those haven't changed. Today, I want to talk about what data science can learn from design as a field. The two areas have a whole lot in common once you look under the hood. So first off, I want to start talking about teams. And the big thing that I have learned is to embrace diversity, embrace people with different strengths, different work styles, and make creativity and interactions a goal of the team. There's actually a whole field called cognitive diversity that is about the benefits of having diverse viewpoints focusing in on an area. One of their big results as a field, and this has been proven over and over again, is that if I have a team of people from different areas with some minimal qualifications, they will do better than a team of experts because typically the team of experts will all think the same. I used to not think that. I used to have a very narrow view of what made a good data scientist, and I was wrong about that. For instance, I passed up on giving a job to somebody who later became the VP of analytics at a multinational corporation. Not a good move on my part. So the second thing is, what about working in the company? Not just doing the projects that we're assigned to, but influencing the whole company. And there are a bunch of different ways that a data science team can help the whole company, like design teams can. First off, antenna. What is happening in the world? Right now, there's a whole lot of hype around generative AI, ChatGPT, Midjourney, that kind of stuff. And executives can be very vulnerable to this kind of hype. There's a whole lot of FOMO in the market right now. Data science teams can be the antenna that tell execs what is the hype and what are the real opportunities for your company. Now, there's also divergence. Often people have a particular way of looking at things, and data scientists, like designers, can look at things from a lateral, different point of view and have tremendous insight. With that insight, we have desire, passion, commitment. By and large, people don't get into data science because they want to do the same old, year after year. They get into data science because they're excited, they're curious, they want to do new stuff. And that kind of enthusiasm can really pervade and spark enthusiasm in the whole company. And the last thing is actually disjunction. We're very good, data scientists are very good at embracing chaos, embracing uncertainty, and finding emergent phenomena and emergent opportunities. I mean, our whole field is about uncertainty, probability, but trying to make the best gets out of something that just looks like a mess. Along with this, we can be very good at fighting bad visions. People can get myopic. They've got their team, they've got their silo, they've got their vision. We can come at things from the side, a lateral viewpoint, with a lot of facts, a lot of data, and a lot of conclusions from that data to help people break out of silos. And so now that gets us into how to do projects. First two things go well together. We've got to understand limits. There's what we want to do, what we dream about doing, what we can do. Those are two different things. There's a big gap there. And we've got to navigate that gap. ChatGPT is a really good example of this. There are lots of wonderful ideas, but ChatGPT has some fundamental flaws that it hallucinates. So it becomes very, very dangerous to have it working on something where it has to be right. For instance, like a medical helpline. Unless I'm happy with 5% of the answers being disastrously wrong, I should not have ChatGPT or any kind of generative AI running a medical helpline. Now, this creates a tightrope between structure and creativity. We want to dream, we want to be able to dream big and be creative, but we need to have the structure to make sure we don't spend years dreaming. It can happen. I've seen it happen to teams. Now, with this, Scrum, interesting, doesn't work very well. Scrum is too structured. Um, what works well, I found, is time box Kanban plus constant project evaluation. What I mean by this is you've got your next step, the next thing you want to do. Do that. Have a time box on it. Say you're going to spend a week putting data together. At the end of that week, then also have a checkbox of, is this still a good idea? Is this project working? I may find out that there are critical aspects of the data that scuttle the whole project, or there are critical aspects to the data that can completely redefine the project in good ways. So that's how to do projects. There's also some interesting things that are off project. That's small tasks. Small tasks, doing a little thing, answering a question, helping somebody or somebody else. Um, they help build connection in the company. They help build trust. We've got to do them well, of course. But once we make those bridges with small tasks, we can then create some very long engagements to build on that trust. And a long engagement with the back and forth, the collaboration, that works a whole lot better than one-offs. Now, contrast what I just said with software development, that small tasks are toxic to the small software development project. They've got big things they need to concentrate on. Small tasks just randomize. Data science, to some extent, needs to embrace the randomization and use that randomization to build connection to some extent. Don't go nuts. So that's teams, projects. Now I want to talk about what data science can learn from design as a broad policy thing. First two sections go together: design support, design policies. A lot of companies have design boards to help small and medium enterprises with design. And also, some companies like South Korea or Finland think about design as a key differentiator for their company, their country, actually. Sorry, not company, country. Like South Korea, K-pop. We all know what K-pop is. And K-pop becomes a design ambassador for the whole South Korean nation. Now, the US has a chief data scientist, but that is more around really data science ideation than helping small companies and medium-sized companies do better. If we really think that the next while is going to be the age of generative AI with a lot of potential unlocked, then I don't think we want to have generative AI being just the province of the large companies that can really invest in it. We want to find a way for small and medium companies to work things out and use the tools safely. By safely, I mean making a bad mistake can cost a lot of money. I think for the United States, it's going to make sense to actually, at a state by state level, create data science boards to help their companies do better. In terms of doing better, there are lots of design groups out there that make scorecards. How do different companies do as their design efforts? Give them a scorecard and help document the ROI of design efforts. We should do the same thing as data scientists. Start evaluating companies on how good they do data science and creating best practices for data science. The last thing, there are a bunch of books around how to think about like a designer. What I've been thinking about the last few days, I think I want to pursue this more. How do I think like a data scientist? What does thinking like a data scientist mean? More later. Not sure when, but more later. So that's where we're at. Data science can learn a lot from design in terms of, first off, build a really diverse team. Help out in the company with your insight and vision. Um, Understand that for projects, the rigid is not bad. You want to have a plan, but you're taking that plan one step at a time, and you need to be very aware of when you need to step sideways sometimes. Um, like with this, as opposed to a lot of other things, small tasks embrace the randomization. Small tasks done well can help build trust. And for a data science team, trust is our most important currency. There's also at a broad societal country level opportunities to do like design, for data science to do like design, and build up boards that will help small companies succeed in areas where data science, generative AI is going to become very critical. Well, that's what I have for today. The next thing I want to talk about is Agile and how to make Agile work for data science. I'll talk to you then. Goodbye.